money back, woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He make sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? And I look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. That be late, waist snatch. Back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina. Belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my teeth. That's why I call it trampoline. Babe, like a Monday, throw body. This is sweet. Saturday, that's just what plastic. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front. I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want. I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, yeah, man, with my name in your mouth. I do the Maybach on Monday, throw body. This is sweet. Saturday, that's just what plastic. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front. I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Sideways.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel of my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, how to give them my dues. Never got to talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line of abusing this deer. I hate to do with no plans. Now I don't usually get near. Oh, my ex her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We live like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a handoff looking right, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I up it, I'ma squeeze. Bad companies, bad for your company. Bad companies, bad for your company. In the ski mask, in case you come for me. Got it in the ski mask, in case you come for me. When I say I got beef, they don't want no beef. When they say they got beef, they don't wanna eat. If you said they want, they don't want no steam. She put it on it. Had a bachelor's degree, PhD while selling, fix the face and fix the weed. Now working on the self-esteem. Hit a block, yo this flock. Where you at? Pin it. My new map location be the block on the app.
Any money in company, nah, baby. I don't need no the company. You can't hang, baby. We don't want you around here. Ice on my neck in this froze. Santa's reindeer. You got bad. It's the same here. Bad company, little bro. You can't hang here. Getting money, so the keep on coming. Phone ringing, so you know the jumping. They looking at me. He owe me some money. Hit him with the not the crumping. Why he playing games? They don't want no problems with me. My got good. You know I brought them. Might not hit a bad. Someone tell them. Well, opposition, they move wrong. So I
dog shades, too much. Got the belly see them. Acting brand new like I don't see it when I do. Who them folks? Who want too close? Give me room, phony folks. Play it close, do the most, don't they? Bad company, that's bad for your company. Bad company, that's bad for your company. Mad cow disease, now you in a ton of beef. Tuck underneath my new blue Dunkaroos. Flintstone, bust down, color Murakami. Fruity Pebble, Basil, Wilma, Betty, Fred, and Barney. Bad, from out of town, I think she model Abercrombie. Wrist game, Lucky Charmy, told my jeweler leprechaun. I'ma come clean, I got beef. Paranoia got me rolling on my sleeves, okay. Hating cause I'm upping up the fees. Whole team got beats on their teeth all day. I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I up it, I'ma squeeze.
I'm above average.
All right, Coach, first open back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
Flex round. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Hodges. He finds an opening past the 40. Wide open receiver complete. Over 100 catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in these playoffs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Let's go. Grand 38. Flex round.
To throw on 2nd down. Hodges. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Hodges, he's going to look deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. First down, Hodges. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going for the deep ball. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 64 yards. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? The first points of a ball game. How about during the playoffs? Vitally important, and they've done that in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee and they'll take over at the 25. And here now come the Falcons. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw on second down. Hodges. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Hodges over the middle, complete. It's Sharp, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriots.
Back to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Throwing on 1st down. Hodges. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Derek Barnett in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Looking to throw. Hodges steps away. And caught out. And this is going to be Packer football. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And a nice first gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there at 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Gone! Gone! Gone, gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And on the ground they go with the running back, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. This is caught. A gain of 32 that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And it's 15-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down, Hodges. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 45 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hodges going to throw deep for the end. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll set up a throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to throw deep. And got his man complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. All right, now look at 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Packers in for the score. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah,
and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Hodges, he's going to go deep for Funchess and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Ohio! Ohio!
Off the play fake. Hodges. Got his man complete over the middle. That's sharp. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 24-yard attempt. And this is off the left upright, and it caroms in. Not the most convincing kick you'll see, but he got it to go. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is taken about 7 yards deep. There he goes left side. And the Packers are in for the score. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Fighting his way through contact. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Watch it now, Barney.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to the 18. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. To throw again. Hodges, he's going to air one out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 41. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Watch it now, Barney.
And they'll go on the ground. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
All right, now, lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Watch it now, Barney. Hurry up.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. Back to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tack McKinley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers are pouring it on. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, wow, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
And it seems like they've been running uphill all game. So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
To throw on 2nd down. Hodges looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sharp. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the 3rd quarter. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ohio!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hodges, that's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw. Hodges forced out to his left. He may try, and it's a fumble. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now a handoff looking right. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And on the ground they go with the running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 10. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Packers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And his kick here is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And they'll go on the ground. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. The Packers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go. Green!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they take a knee. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Atlanta.